Anticipating Don Huffines to win in November, Governor Greg Abbott has appointed him to fill the office of the Comptroller. This is Friday, July 3rd, 2026.
Texas Scorecard presents the day's first news for the Lone Star State, the Texas Minute, with your host, Michael Quinn Sullivan.
Welcome to this Independence Eve edition of the Texas Minute. For most people in the American colonies 250 years ago today, not much was markedly different from the day before or would be 2 days hence. Yet the declaration made by their representatives in Philadelphia on July 4th, 1776 would change the world in unimaginable ways, and it still is changing the world today. Among the things we will celebrate this weekend will be the force for good that has been brought into the world by American exceptionalism. But our celebrations only have meaning to the extent that we start next week ready to embrace our responsibility as citizens of this great republic to ensure it stands strong for another 250 years. Let's jump into the news. Governor Greg Abbott has appointed Republican Comptroller nominee Don Huffines to serve as Texas Comptroller following acting Comptroller Kelly Hancock's resignation. Huffines will take office on August 1st. Mr. Hancock had announced Wednesday that he'll resign on July 31st after serving for a year as chief clerk and acting comptroller. Now, despite misreporting by the establishment media, Hancock was never appointed by Abbott to fill the vacant office when former Comptroller Glenn Hager left to take over the Texas A&M system as chancellor. Now, though, the governor is appointing Huffines to the top job in anticipation of the former state senator winning the November election. You'll recall that back in March, Huffines decisively won the Republican nomination for comptroller in a 4-person primary, defeating Hancock and 2 other candidates by earning 57% of the vote. A federal appellate court has ruled that evidence of an individual being a Satanist may be presented during trial when it's relevant to future dangerousness. The defendant in question is Irving Allen Davis, who claimed that any consideration of his religious beliefs violated his religious freedom. He was sentenced to death in 2002 after raping and murdering a minor in El Paso a year earlier. During sentencing, evidence was entered that referred to his affiliation with Satanism alongside personal writings and drawings from his jail cell. Last week, the Fifth Circuit upheld Davis's conviction, ruling that his First Amendment rights were not violated by the inclusion of evidence of his Satanism as it related to his propensity to future violence. One can only hope that these 2 decades of delays mean that Irving Davis can learn about and put his faith in Jesus. The Texas Minute will be right back.
News and analysis on what's happening in Texas. End your day with daily headlines from Texas Scorecard. Every day at 5 p.m., join me, Brandon Waltons, as we recap the biggest stories of the day and talk about why they matter to you. From the state capitol to town hall, there's no shortage of events happening. Keep up with it all. Watch and subscribe to Daily Headlines from Texas Scorecard.
A new process has been approved by state regulators to expedite the connection of multiple large electricity users, including data centers, to the Texas power grid. The plan from the Public Utility Commission and the Electric Reliability Council of Texas is intended to streamline the processing of more than 438,000 megawatts of large load requests, nearly 89% of which are from data centers. As part of the new process, large users may be required to develop on-site self-generation to supplement their power needs and must agree that ERCOT can limit their electricity use when transmission constraints arise. The change follows reports that several large data centers recently failed reliability tests, raising concerns about their potential to destabilize the Texas grid. It also comes after Governor Greg Abbott cautioned state regulators that data centers should pay for their own infrastructure costs. You can find the details of this story and the others mentioned today and keep up with the latest news by visiting TexasScorecard.com. In observance of the Independence Day weekend, the Texas Minute will resume on Tuesday, July 7th. This edition was based on the original reporting of Brandon Waltons, Travis Morgan, and Hunter Burney. The Texas Minute is produced and delivered to you each weekday morning by the very patriotic Nick Shepard. On behalf of everyone at Texas Scorecard, I hope you and yours have a very happy 4th of July celebration.